Welcome back to Newsday. Joining me live in the studio is the independent member for Mackellar on Sydney's Northern Beaches, Sophie Scomps. Sophie Scomps, thanks for your time. I'm interested to read your proposal for tax relief for small business. I know there are thousands of small businesses in your part of the world. Can you explain to our viewers what you'd like to see, and have you got any support across the Parliament for it?
Oh, yeah. So we did a survey 18 months ago now, asking businesses what were the main issues that they were facing. And of course, there's a cost of living crisis, but there's also a cost of doing business crisis. And 86% of the businesses across Mackellar said that is the main issue for them. So you think about it, they've got increasing wages, insurance, interest rates, rents, energy, and those aren't going away anytime soon. So those types of figures are backed up by the Council of Small Businesses as well, saying that 49% of our small businesses are not even breaking even. Mm-hmm. And when you think about it, these guys are not just so important for our economy, they're also part of our community. And, you know, they grow these passions and they're providing a service, so we need to be supporting them to be more profitable.
Employers as well on the Northern Beaches, reading the analysis you've put out, 116,000 people are employed by a small business as well. So it's not just the owners themselves, it's those that earn a wage from small business. So a tax-free threshold, essentially, for small business. Do you think that this is going to get broader support?
Yes, 100%, because it's exactly what organisations like the Council for Small Business are calling for, and the industry groups, they're all calling for something like this. Absolutely, we need to ease the tax burden on small business. They are doing it tough. Across my electorate, there are empty shop fronts everywhere. People are saying that they're doing it tough. And productivity has stalled in this country for now since 2016. We need to be doing something to boost productivity, and giving business owners money back in their pocket to reinvest and grow their businesses is how we do it. I don't think it's incentivising business owners to go on long boozy lunches is the way that we grow productivity and innovation in this country.
Has the government given you any time on this one, though? Have they listened to what you're saying?
Oh, no, I haven't discussed it yet with them, but definitely this has come from the business owners, from the small businesses. And we know that businesses are doing it tough at the moment. Sure. We've been door knocking for several months now, trying to hear from businesses, but also letting them know what supports are available out there.
And you'll be making the case that the government or opposition should pick this up as policy
100%.
During the campaign?
They should 100% pick this up as policy. This is serious policy. This is far more than a pre-election sugar hit. This is about, we've done the personal income tax reforms, voted for those. This is the next step. We need to be supporting business.
I've had some of your constituents reach out to me as well about this 40%. I know it's not your area of responsibility, but the rates, the Northern Beaches Council have upped rates by 40%. What's your view on that? Should that have happened?
My view is that we're in a cost of living crisis. People are doing it absolutely tough, and it is not the right time to be increasing rates at all. So I've opposed that 100%. But we do need to look at why this is happening across the state to councils. And one of the issues is that the amount of direct funding to councils has been whittled away over the last few decades, and more money is used instead for this pre-election pork barrelling. We have got to crack down on pork barrelling. That is just wasteful, inefficient spending.
Have you had feedback, though, that complaining that some of the independent councillors, because of course the Liberals didn't put in their nominations, which was a debacle, but what it's meant was a lot of others, including some independents that you supported, were elected and they voted for the increase. Have you had feedback critical of that?
Look, I absolutely agree that it was a debacle that the Liberal Party did not get their nominations in, and it could be a very different story if they had actually acted in a coherent way. But they have let our community down. So the Liberal Party has let our community down by not getting the most basic thing in, getting those nominations in, and I think that people across our electorate should be very angry.
But the independents that you supported voted in favour of this increase,
So this is a council. This is council. I'm 2 levels above council. I'm very aware of what's happening in my electorate, and I support the electorate's position that this is not the right time for a rate rise, and I have come out quite strongly saying that I oppose the rate rise.
And is it awkward for you, though, that those councillors that you supported in the campaign, because you know that James Brown, the Liberals are going to say these are Sophie Scomm's people and they've voted for a 40% hike in rates.
So community independence, independent means that we're independent. So I have no close affiliation with other independents, just like you see here in Parliament, in the federal Parliament. Sometimes we vote the same, sometimes we vote very differently. So it comes down to what we believe is the best thing for our community. So yes, the Liberal Party is trying very hard to make this stick to me, and I think it's all about the election coming up when really I oppose it myself as strongly as they do. And I should say...
Well, it is a lot. It sounds like a lot.
Oh, it's
if
a
you
huge
get
amount.
hit with 40%.
Oh, I think it's a huge amount.
Because not everyone's... I mean, it is a well-off part of the world.
Well,
I saw
look,
some of the placards, people saying we're not all silver tails.
No, 100%. Like, people have this sort of misconception that it's an incredibly affluent area. There are parts that are affluent when you look at Palm Beach, Whale Beach, but there are also many parts such as Cromer, Narraweena and Dee Why where people are doing it very tough. So it is something that we need to be very, very mindful of.
Yeah, and so on the Climate 200 donations as well, we've seen that declared. How are you happy to see that transparency and that Climate 200 donated upwards of $100,000 to you?
Already, well, if we look at the last financial year, the stats that I had was it was 25,000. So I think we have fundraised, I think close to 150,000, and 25,000 of that was from Climate 200, which is what I've heard.
Well, okay, so they're saying Climate 200 donations, there we go, 432,000. Yep, so yours comes in lower than that. But either way, do you feel that there is some response that you need to give in terms of policy? Have you spoken to Simon Holmes à Court since?
I don't actually speak directly with Simon Holmes à Court a whole lot. And the vast majority of the donations we get are from small donations from people within our community. So that's where we have been focusing our fundraising, because Climate 200 doesn't donate to just anyone. They only donate if they think that there's a community that's supporting their independence. So that's where we focus our fundraising, and that's where we've got most of our money from.
And when you say you don't speak to him a lot, or that whole lot, is that there's no expectation from him in terms of...
No, absolutely no expectation. In fact, they go out of their way to keep arm's length from us so that it doesn't even... they're not even seen to be sort of influencing what policies we have.
OK, so you don't talk policy with him?
Oh, gosh, no, never.
All right.
Yeah.
Sophie Scomm, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Some towns in northern Queensland have recorded